Hey everybody, this is Wicked bringing you another audio commentary for WCR. This audio commentary is copyrighted to WCReplays.com. Please do not quote, copy, or distribute it. You may also not molest the audio commentary. You cannot have a sleepover with the audio commentary, and you cannot make faces at the audio commentary without our written consent. Unfortunately for you, we're a site on the internet, and our written consent budget is extremely low, so really, good luck getting that. You should get that replay paused to 1 minute. Got an awesome game for you today. An Orc Mirror on Plunder Isle between CADX2 Craft and 2D.tx Pro. They're playing Orc Mirror here, and CAD2X is going to go for an innovative strat, while TX Pro will be your cookie cutter for the day. Anyway, if you've got the replay paused at 1 minute, you can go ahead and unpause in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. Okay, so we've got the replay unpause. It's going for 105 now. If you notice, CADX2 is building a Voodoo Lounge, which generally means Blade Master, because if you're going that early Blade Master, you're going to want to get the Voodoo Lounge for the early items, so you can have a more effective harass. Like I said, TX Pro is going to be our cookie cutter for the day, so he's going Farseer. The Orc Mirror match, you generally don't see the Blade Master. That's because he's not so good in Orc Mirror match, but CADX2's an innovator, so he's going to use him anyway. Reason is he's not very good. The harassment against peons have 220 HP, they don't go down easy like wisps, plus they can pop into a burrow and start throwing spears at your butt. Anyway, the heroes are almost out. Farseer, like I said, for TX Pro, who spawned at the bottom of Turtle Rock, Plunder Isle, and the Blade Master's also out for CADX2. Both players are getting a barracks, although CAD's is not yet done, and TX Pro's has been finished for a while. Now I want you to watch right here. TX Pro's going out to creep. He pulls a very nice trick on these ogres. He brings out his Farseer. He attacks the Ogre Magi, who casts Bloodlust, and then proceeds to do absolutely nothing. This allows TX Pro to creep out that Ogre Warrior fairly quickly before they run back. He gets a lot of free damage, basically, without making the Ogre Magi cast 2 Bloodlusts or even do any damage. Now here comes the harassing Blade Master of CAD with the Speed Scroll, Clarity, and Healing Salves. Like I said before, there's really no way to harass peons. CAD knows this as well. He'd much rather creepjack. As far as TX Pro goes, remember when you're creeping to always micro away your weak wolves and have them be scouts. Anyway, so back to the creep. He's finished off the creep trick, which he managed to do with 2 grunts and a wolves. He started out with just wolves and a grunt, which is very impressive for orange creeps, because you can do that right at the beginning of the game. Here comes the Blade Master, but there's nothing at low health, so he's not going to do anything. The Blade Master's getting an essential item for all harassers, which is the boost of speed. Boots. He is getting the boots. He's getting boots of speed, and yes, because if you're going to harass with a Blade Master or a Demon Hunter, and you're planning on doing any long-term harassing, you're going to need the boots. Anyway, TX Pro's decided, since he's seen the Blade Master, that the best way to go would be to take it right to him. He knows that he can micro his peons away from any Blade Master harass, so the best course of action would be a direct attack on the base in order to bring that Blade Master back and force it to fight on TX Pro's terms rather than CADX's. Now here comes TX. He's going to try and get off another surround on this grunt, and he doesn't manage to, so he's going to pull back and go for the base. Unless you can get a surround on the grunts in Orc Mirror, they're not really worth attacking because they won't die. They're Tier 1 Knights. So here comes CADX2, who's going to have his Blade Master just go for the Farseer because it's got the lowest HP of all of its units. TX Pro is going to go for the Peasant line, which is really what you should do in an early rush. Or, you don't have to go for Peasant line, you can go for Wood Peasants. Anyway, notice how CADX has just set his Blade Master, to A-click attack the Farseer. He's just going to keep attacking it with that boost of speed. He can catch up to it fairly easily. Watch how TX Pro is able to harass peons with his grunts while he runs his Farseer away. Pretty impressive. Anyway, the CAD is just about to cast Windwalk here to finish off this, finish off the Farseer. Farseer dies. All the grunts are being forced to retreat due to burrow micro on CAD's part. So now there's a free Blade Master roaming around with his boost of speed. Notice how he ran into those trees there. That will hide him from view. Very easy to get the Blade Master away from attacking units if they're slow. And here comes CAD. He's going to pick off a weak grunt with his Blade Master. This is something you definitely got to do if, for some arcane, insane, in the membrane reason, you decide to pick Blade Master and Orc Mirror. You got to be able to pick off the weak grunts. So now CAD, who is teching to tier 3 already because he's going Tri-Hero. That's part of his strategy, which you will see the rest of later. He techs to tier 3 because his main damage units are going to be heroes, and he needs, the only other units he's going to be getting are casters of a different sort than you'd think. Anyway, he's got the Farseer. For a second hero, CAD does. He's going to go out and creep with his Farseer and some grunts while his Blade Master harasses. Notice the TX Pro uses some Gosu Wolf micro there to keep the experience away. Anyway, TX Pro keeps the Blade Master busy with wolves while he creeps freely, and CAD's Farseer creeps while the Blade Master harasses. Blade Master goes in with a Windwalk. He checks the Murloc camp there to make sure that TX Pro isn't creeping. TX Pro, now that he has level 2 on his Farseer, decides that once again, he needs to creep to level 3 basically to get those level 2 wolves. So he's going to go creep a yellow camp. Notice CAD X2 trying to harass TX Pro's peons. Not working so well. After he attacks a peon a few times, all TX has to do is run the peon into a burrow and he'll start whacking away. CAD X2 is still creeping with the Farseer. This is actually a good part of the strategy, where he is able to creep with one hero, harass with another, and thus keep gaining the creeping advantage while keeping TX Pro at a disadvantage. Anyway, TX Pro's Farseer is near level 3, which is really what he wants when he's attacking, but he will go before that if he feels that he needs to. TX Pro, going the cookie cutter, has gone Grunts and Raiders. He's got his first Raider out right now. He'll be using those Raiders for some insane hero nuking in the later parts of the game. Here's TX Pro going out to CAD's base because he's tired of creeping, doesn't want to get harassed by that Blade Master anymore. He wants to take the fight to him for once. Notice the use of Ensnare on the wolves. You don't want to do that like in the battle, but if you catch a stray wolf, then yeah, you want to ensnare it and kill it for the EXP. In the middle of battle, there are more important things to ensnare. So here comes the Windwalk Blade Master, whose main priority is the Farseer because it is the lowest HP unit in this entire army. Notice how TX Pro uses the ensnare on the Farseer. Now CAD has teched to Spirit Walkers for Spirit Link on his Tri-Hero. The third hero, the Shadow Hunter, is nearly out. CAD teching to Spirit Walkers is something you wouldn't normally see, but it actually makes sense because Spirit Walkers are the Orc caster that does the most damage basically, and it's magic damage. And TX Pro, nearly all of TX Pro's army is heavy armor. So with the Spirit Walkers not in ethereal form, in their damage-doing form, focus fire, they're able to take down quite a few grunts. Now here, TX Pro is taking down the barracks of CAD X2, which is important, because for the rest of the game, all he will be able to produce is casters, and since he's only upgraded one type of caster, he'll only be producing Spirit Walkers. Now here, the Farseer nearly gets nuked by the really only nuke combo that Orc has, other than maybe you could call Hex Chain Lightning, but Hex and Blade Master attack is the best nuke. Now notice how when the Blade Master gets ensnared, the Spirit Walker casts Spirit Link. That will help avoid any focus firing done by TX Pro's army. TX Pro has a low-life Farseer that he doesn't want to get killed by a Blade Master, so he is going to start the retreating process. If you notice, CADX2's Farseer is being attacked by that Raider down there. That Farseer went off to pursue a unit earlier. I believe it was a Grunt that got killed. Anyway, now here is the use. 3 Raiders can keep a hero sufficiently ensnared for you to kill him. Just keep spamming ensnare over and over again with your 3 Raiders, and you will be able to kill the Farseer. Anyway, microing that Raider back from the wolves that were attacking it. Once again, you cast ensnare on the wolf if he's alone to get that EXP, which is so crucial in the Orc versus Orc matchup. Now here, CADX2 is going to use a Spirit Walker in ethereal form, kind of like a shade, to follow around TX Pro's army, because he knows for a fact that there is no magic damage that can be done in TX Pro's army. Now here, TX Pro is going to creep out this camp. I don't know why CADX2 does not creep jack him. It looks like he's running over to do it, but he doesn't. I don't know how that Blade Master gets level 2. I really don't. It just popped level 2, and I don't know how. But I think it might have been something to do with that wolf that just was destroyed. Anyway, so TX Pro manages to finish off creeping without any incident, collects his item, and will cast a chain heal, and he's going to go bring the fight to CAD once again. So we've got magic damage and 1 grunt, 3 Spirit Walkers a grunt versus the tri-hero, including the wolves, of CAD. So here we're going to see the use of Gosu Focus Fire with Spirit Walkers. Notice that he just keeps pumping them Spirit Walkers. He uses the Spirit Walkers mass Spirit Link to keep his heroes alive. The damage is being spread out even if they do Focus Fire. Now the Spirit Walkers are doing very nice damage versus the Grunts. Grunt goes down, another Grunt will be going down very soon. And the heroes, while they're doing the real damage, are being helped a lot by the Spirit Walkers because of the link, which is keeping them all alive. Now basically the Spirit Walkers are very good choices in this for CAD because of their high HP. So if you Spirit Link something, and then if you Spirit Link a bunch of low HP units, let's say Orc doesn't have much of low HP, but let's say for the sake of argument, Witch Doctors, then they'll just all go down very fast. But if you Spirit Link heroes with, say, Spirit Walkers, with their 620 HP, they're going to be able to tank some of the damage. Now, if you notice, TX Pro's put up an expansion that just finished. He put out that expansion a little while ago because he knew that he had the advantage. He knew that CAD couldn't actually do anything to stop an advantage. He didn't have any siege damage. All he had was his heroes and some Spirit Walkers. Now, TX Pro has had to choose the best counter for mass Spirit Walkers, and he came to the conclusion that Kodos would be the best. And actually, Kodos are a very logical conclusion, because not only of the Wardrobes, which provides extra damage for his entire army, but the piercing damage does extra to Spirit Walkers, and Devour is what you generally want to use versus a over 600 HP unit in order to keep them out of the battle. Now, TX Pro is creeping this giant ogre thing. Look what he did here. He set a Serpent Ward at the base of the Expo in order to scout for any incoming armies. Unfortunately for TX, it expires right before the army of CADX arrives, so he doesn't actually get to see anything. TX Pro got the item of Healing Wards, which will heal up his army fairly quickly. CADX2 didn't know that TX Pro's army was actually right above him when he came to attack. Upon finding this out, he is extremely miffed, but decides to fight anyway. Now you're going to notice the speed scroll cast here, and then the speed scrolled Kodos are going to run up and start devouring some, what are they called? Spirit Walkers. So once you get, there they are, the speed scroll. Using the speed scroll advantage, the Kodos are going to run up and do some devouring. 2 of the Kodos weren't able to, but here you see the Kodos, Spirit Walkers are just disappearing left and right, because if he puts them in ethereal form, yes, they can't be, devoured, but they don't do any damage, which Cad actually kind of needs. So Cad is going to focus down the Kodos that are devouring things in hopes of getting some of his Spirit Walkers back. Unfortunately, he's pushed back before any of this can happen. The Blade Master windwalks just to avoid any ensnare. So now TX Pro has 4 Kodos. I can't remember the last time I've seen 4 Kodos in one game. And he's also continuing to pump Kodos. I never thought I'd ever say pump Kodos in a commentary game. Anyway, he's continuing to pump Kodos because they are the legit counter to mass Spirit Walkers. Anyway, TX Pro decides that it is time to bring the fight to his enemy. He has 4 Kodos and a Grunt on the way, as well as 2 Kodos right behind his 2 heroes, Last Raider and a Grunt. So he's got a bunch of Kodos. He's got enough Kodos to devour every Spirit Walker that Cad has. Cad has constructed a Tauren Totem, but he doesn't really build any Tauren. He just continues to pump the Spirit Walkers. He also puts up 2 Bestiaries, but the game will unfortunately end too fast for him to do anything with them besides make a couple Wyverns that don't really do anything. Anyway, here come the 6 Kodos and the dual heroes of TX Pro, because TX is a pro. Now watch this. Speed scroll, the Kodos run amidst the Spirit Walkers, and what happened to your army, Cad? Oh, it's been eaten. Good God. Anyway, so here, now TX Pro, now that he's eaten Cad's entire army, he's going to go for some of the heroes. He goes for the Blade Master first, but it manages to get Windwalk, and it doesn't die, although it does escape with a mere 50 HP. Now TX Pro is going for the Farseer and the Shadow Hunter, and those won't go down very easily either, so he turns around and uses that mass-piercing Kodo damage to nearly destroy Spirit Walker. If I were TX Pro, I would have cast Chain Lightning on that Spirit Walker, because that would probably have killed it. Now here's a Wyvern, brought out by Cad2X Craft. You should have microed that back. It dies to the Kodo piercing damage fairly quickly. Now, TX Pro has also thrown up towers. Towers are always something that you want to throw up when you know that you've got the advantage. So that way, even if your army is decimated, you've still got some hell of annoying towers. Now, the Shadow Hunters brought down by Grunts and Kodos, as well as the Farseer. So basically, Cad's last hope is his very low HP Blade Master that's being chased by a Farseer out of his base. With the 3 towers and the Kodos and the Grunts all focusing down buildings of Cad, it's looking pretty bleak. Cad's Blade Master, while healing, is now being attacked by a Raider who just ensnared it, which, while not doing much damage, cancelled his healing salve. The towers are almost up from TX Pro. One of the Bestiaries is nearly dead due to, excuse me, Kodo Focus Fire. Yes, Kodo Focus Fire is bringing down the Bestiary. Kodo Focus Fire has brought down the Bestiary. The Kodos are retreating because of the burrow piercing damage, which will kill them. So Cad has set up an expansion, a quick expansion, in the hopes that maybe he will be able to come back from this game. He's going to go up and try and kill that Shadow Hunter with its mere 300 HP. Now, first he needs to run over to his Voodoo Lounge and buy a couple potions, miscellaneous potions, a health potion, namely. So he goes over, he attacks the Shadow Hunter, and immediately falls under distress from the towers. Also, Mass Kodo Focus Fire, which, by the way, is really fun to say. Kodo Focus Fire. Anyway, Blade Master's dead. Burrows are being focused. Pretty much GG. Cad acknowledges it there. Right. Game's over. That was it. So, kids, moral of the story. There was an innovator, and there was a cookie cutter. Then they fought, and the cookie cutter won. Stick with the normal strats, kids. Don't try anything new. Otherwise, you'll just be pain to loss and death and the 7 deadly plagues of Egypt. Anyway, so that's the Orc versus Orc for you. The Mass Spirit Walkers versus Mass Kodos action, quite intense, I must say. I'm severely tired. I'm sorry I didn't use 1/2 speed for you guys this time. I was much too lazy. Also, I'm sorry this audio is a little bit shorter. I would have to be insane to record another 40 minutes, because that was crazy. Anyway, I just want to leave you with some parting words, and I'll probably put a song on here later. Yeah, right. I'll record myself saying the name. I'll be sure to include the credits this time inside the zip file. As you wander around in the zoo of WCR, just remember, don't feed the shoutcasters. Good night, everyone, and I wish you a Merry Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate, and a Happy New Warcraft year. Wicked, signing off.